packaged systems. And this is a two-part series, so thank you for taking time to join us here this morning. And again, we will do this tomorrow morning, same time, which will be at 8:45 Central Time. My name is Tim Wright, and I work with Enertech Global and have the advantage and the opportunity to be the residential sales manager. And I'm on actually as the host, and Brian Erlob is our commercial sales manager. And Brian will actually be our presenter today, taking you through a lot of the compact horizontal package model. And then again, we'll finish that off tomorrow with a little bit more of the feature and benefits of the system. So with that in mind, if I may, I'm going to jump to just a few opportunities here as we move through the slide presentation of what's actually happening again right now, which will be a 20 to 30 minute webinar tomorrow morning, again, same time, and that'll be at 8:45 Central Time. Brian, again, will finish off this opportunity as a part 2 on our new ZT and ZS, single stage and two stage commercial horizontal line. And then again, what's coming up here in this series as part of what's happening new at Enertech, we'll also be spending time on December the 7th with Schwepp in sharing with you the benefits of brazed plate heat exchange in compared to the coaxial that you may all be familiar with in the industry. On December the 14th, again, 8:45 Central Time, GeoFlow. And that is a vendor partner of ours that do an awful lot, both residentially and commercially, with flow centers and pumping systems. This one will focus on commercial pumping systems, where we're looking at 5 or more geothermal, ground source heat pump, or water source heat pump technology working in conjunction together on a larger scale. So that is certainly one you won't want to miss either. So this webinar is being recorded, and it will be provided to you for viewing shortly after, later today. But what we're asking you to do from here, if you will, is please, to get the most out of this webinar opportunity that we're hosting for you, take notes. Make sure you jot those points down or questions that you may have. And then as you will see, as we advance to the next slide, you'll see the opportunity of being on this webinar where you have a questions tab down at the bottom where the red arrow is pointing, and you are more than welcome, and we encourage the questions. That way this is beneficial for you and making sure that you get all the answers off before you get off this webinar. And again, if it doesn't happen today, we'll hit it again tomorrow and answer your questions for you as well. We love to answer them. We would appreciate any phone call opportunity or email conversation. But again, for the sake of time, let's begin. So with that, Mr. Brian Erlob, I'm going to turn it over to you, and thank you for your advancements and what you've done to help the geothermal community. You've been with Enertech about 15 years. So you know an awful lot about the water source heat pump and geothermal market for residential and commercial. But Brian, take it away and share with us this new product that we've released.
Thanks, Tim. Yes, good morning, everybody. We're here to talk about the new compact horizontal ZS and ZT product from Enertech. And let's go ahead and get started. Some of the model overview and features of the new ZS-ZT. First of all, we've released the 1.5 through 6 ton single stage products, as well as the 2 through 6 ton two stage products. And we also have more sizes coming in January. These products will feature the single and two stage Copeland scroll compressors. They have a PSC or an ECM variable speed blower motor option available on the single speed, and of course the ECM is standard with the two stage. The new ZS-ZT actually features the brazed plate heat exchanger. Excuse me. And it will also have a coaxial option later in 2017 available. It's a very robust product. We build this product with 18 gauge galvanized steel. Actually has a 16 gauge base plate with 18 gauge steel all the way around. And we have residential brand colors to match. All products will have a 1-inch female pipe thread source connection. There are no double O-rings available on this model. and so there will be all 1-inch female pipe thread. The one thing about the ZSZT that Enertech really looked at when designing this product was we want to make sure it was high efficiency but yet very compact in design. And I think you'll see that in the size ranges, very compact but yet very high efficiency. We have all the voltages available for both residential and commercial, and the air pattern is actually field convertible. So the end or side discharge is field convertible with just taking out the blower in the panel and removing it and putting it in the other side. And then of course we have left and right hand return air. Okay, some of the really unique features that Enertech develops and engineers into all of their product are these right here. The first one on this particular product, the ZSZT, is the brazed plate heat exchanger. No one in the water source heat pump market on small products less than 10 tons is using brazed plate heat exchangers. But brazed plate heat exchangers offer so much more benefits to the product than a typical coaxial heat exchanger. We'll get into that in part 2. But we are using a brazed plate, stainless steel brazed plate heat exchanger for the source side refrigerant to water heat exchanger. We're also using what Enertech has been known for is the all aluminum microchannel air coil. We've been using that since 2010. We've got well over 13,000 of these servicing in the field, and it's been a fantastic coil. And again, we'll talk a little bit more detail about some of these unique features in part 2 tomorrow. We use spray foam insulation on any extended range applications on the source heat exchangers, where a lot of manufacturers would use foam tape. Enertech actually is a very unique process where we spray foam the heat exchangers. So that way, number one, it's an airtight process, so the air can never touch the heat exchanger to cause condensation or corrosion. And the insulation value, the R value, is much higher than just foam tape. We use UL Greenguard foam cabinet insulation. It's actually certified by UL as Greenguard Gold. It's a sheet foam, it's EPDM, closed cell foam, and it's excellent for sound, but mainly for airborne contaminants. It does not give off any type of airborne contaminants such as fiberglass. And that's something that we use, again, throughout our product line that's very unique to Enertech. We have a double mount compressor isolation system. Our double mount compressor isolation system is highly engineered. We use these specific pads that are called Getzner pads. They're made out of elastomeric high-density material, and it's designed based on the weight of the compressor. So highly engineered to absolutely take out all noise, all sound, all vibration to make a really excellent, quiet machine that you just won't be able to hear it. Serviceability is a big deal with Enertech. All of our products are designed with the installer and the serviceman in mind. So all of our blowers are mounted on an orifice blower ring for ease of service. Stainless steel drain pan is standard with the new ZSCT, which is very reliable. Don't have to worry about any type of mold, mildew, anything growing in the drain pan. I mentioned the field convertible discharge air. Again, that can be an end or a side discharge field convertible. Lots of filter options with the ZSCT. We have the 1-inch filter rail, the 2-inch filter rail, or the deluxe 4-sided filter rack option with the ZSCT product. And we have a whole new hanger bracket system that's been designed. It's a modular system for the corner posts, comes with rubber grommets. It makes it very easy to install and they hang with your threaded rod. So to take a closer look at the product, here's an exploded view of inside the ZSCT. First thing I want to mention again is the source brazed plate heat exchanger. You can see right there. And this one shows an extended range application, so there's a spray foam application on the brazed plate. But notice how small and compact the brazed plate is versus a coaxial heat exchanger. That brought out about 70 pounds of weight and also made the product more efficient. The all-aluminum microchannel air coil. Again, what Enertech has been known for since 2010, been a fantastic product. Higher efficiencies, lower refrigerant charge, and all aluminum makes that product very compact again and very high efficiency. The field convertible discharge. There's the blower opening, that would be a straight through discharge, and of course that can be then taken out, removed, flipped over, and brought to the end, and you just swap the panels and now you have an end discharge. The spray foamed heat exchanger, as I mentioned, we do that in-house at Enertech. It's about 3/8 of an inch thick, excellent R value, and it will never condense or sweat to cause any corrosion over time. Copeland scroll compressors, both single stage and two stage. We utilize the Copeland scroll compressor, one of the most reliable compressors on the market, one of the most efficient compressors on the market. It's been a fantastic product for us, and that's exclusive throughout the whole product line. Now this picture shows double O-rings, but actually we decided to move forward with the female pipe thread connections, both residentially and commercially. So the female pipe threads would be on the product for your source connections, and just a note, they're always opposite the return air. So if it's a left return, the piping is on the right. If it's a right return, the piping is on the left. We've mounted the control box on hinges. So the control box, if you remove two screws, actually swings open to service any of the components behind it, like the compressor. The compressor is designed to come straight out the front if for some reason something should happen. Control box has a lot of room, and the ZSZT utilizes obviously all the controls that Enertech is known for as far as their very reliable, very robust control strategy. Okay, moving on to the cabinet dimensions. So from the 1.5 ton through the 6 ton, these are the cabinet dimensions. Very compact in nature. Number one, the height is 19.25 on the 1.5 ton, 2 and 2.5 ton, and then 21.5 on all the other models on up from there. And then we're 21.5 wide, up from 1.5 ton to 4 ton, which means we can actually get this product in between a 2-foot truss all the way up to a 4-ton model, which is very impressive in the industry. And then 24 inches on the 5 and the 6 ton. And then the length were 52 inches, 56 inches, and 61 inches. So a very compact design, mainly due to the microchannel and the brace plate technologies, to allow us to have high efficiencies but yet keep the cabinet very small, and only have one product tier, which is also very important versus having multiple tiers of product. Again, here's your supply air discharge options, and this is all field convertible. About 6 screws is all it takes to take this from a side discharge to an end discharge. And I mentioned we have a coaxial heat exchanger option coming in 2017. As you can see here, the top view is the braze plate, and then the bottom view is with the coax. So we've designed the product to fit the coax without any modifications in the product. And the coax would be more for open loop and residential, or maybe in areas where you might have water quality issues. Commercially, we offer the same options, but notice there's now a pump in there. We do offer a 2-way control valve or an internal source pump on the commercial option. Efficiencies. At Enertech, again, our products, number one, our goal is always to design them as high quality and reliability with excellent components. But the next thing is to always make sure that we design them with high efficiency. And our goal on a single stage is to try to reach 20 EER, and on 2-stage part load, we're trying to shoot for that 28 to 30 EER. So as you can see with our single stage ECMs, our EERs, we're getting up on ground loop conditions up into the 20, 21 range, and of course the PSC is a little bit less efficient than the ECM blower motor. But all these products have been AHRI certified and tested. With the 2-stage, 2 through 6 ton, again the EER part load, we're looking for that ground loop condition, trying to reach that 30 EER mark, which means that product is very, very efficient comparative to any competitive models on the marketplace. The other thing that we have done, obviously we had a horizontal product that we had as a legacy product, and with the new ZT, we wanted to make that product smaller and more efficient. So as you can see here, we accomplished that. So the cabinet got much smaller across the board if you look at the ZT versus the HT, and then the efficiencies all went up. And this is all full load efficiencies on ground loop conditions. Excellent job by the engineering team. With that, we'll take your questions.
Very good, Brian. Thank you for taking us through the system. Very, very nice to be able to see that exploded view and hitting the highlights. I know you'll be able to share more in depth tomorrow. But maybe just a question is can you just touch one more time for the customers or maybe prospects that are out there looking at this product? What could they order now? And what's available, Brian, in the single stage and in the two stage today?
Yeah, what's available to order today is the ZS model, which is our single stage model, both in a PSE or an ECM blower motor option, 1.5 ton all the way to 6 ton with the single stage. And then we have the ZT, which is our two-stage model, and that's available in 2 through 6 ton, available to order today. Great question.
Very good. And Brian, I know we didn't, we're trying to keep this short, but if you can just touch again on the I'll say your pump option of an internally mounted pump. Where can we do that? And just touch on that one more time if you can, because I believe that's unique. And are we the only ones in the industry offering an internal pump?
Yeah, that's a good question, Tim. Actually, we're one of 2 in the industry that offers that, but that's very rare actually, with most manufacturers not being able to fit the pump inside the product, and yet we're still very compact in nature, so that's pretty cool that we can do that. But that pump is utilized mainly in the commercial space, and a lot of primary secondary pumping systems where you would have a main pipe going through the building with a main pump, and then each heat pump would have its own individual circulator. So instead of putting that circulator external and having to pipe it in and wire it in, that can come in the product. It's a Grundfos UP 2699 3-speed, so depending on the size of the model, you can adjust your flow rate, and that comes pre-wired and installed right in the machine to save on labor and save on cost, and just offer that primary secondary job a little bit more flexibility and a lower cost option.
Very good, Brian. Thank you. And maybe one more question. I think this product is a little bit unique. Can you just touch on the fact that this same unit is also applicable for not only a geothermal application, but also, say, heading into a commercial application where it be a water source heat pump? But can you just talk a little bit about the extended range that's built into this unit?
Yeah, another excellent question. Thank you. At Enertech, all of our products are always designed, engineered, and built to handle the extended range operation, which means the refrigeration circuit has a thermal expansion valve and can operate in heating mode all the way down to 25 degrees and in cooling all the way to 120 degrees and anywhere in between. And all products that Enertech designs and sells today are built that way. Whereas some products on the market are built specifically for maybe the commercial cooling tower market, and they can only handle 50 to 80 or 90 degree water temperatures. We can go from 25 to 120. So this product can be used both in commercial on a cooling tower, geothermal, or residential, geothermal, open loop. It can be used in any of those ranges because the product is robust and built to handle all those water temperature ranges. The only difference is going from commercial cooling tower to geothermal, or what we call low temperature application or extended range, is the insulation that's put on the heat exchanger and the piping of the refrigeration system.
Excellent, Brian. Thank you for that explanation. I guess the last thing I'm going to do, Brian, is just encourage everybody to come and show up again tomorrow, 8:45 Central Time. And you did a nice job taking all the doors off the unit so people can see inside of what's going on. But I do know tomorrow you're going to get more in depth about that braze plate heat exchange as well as some other features. So guys, folks, I believe it's a can't miss. So please join us again tomorrow. Thank you again for taking time to join us this morning. I would encourage you to feel free to go to enertechgeo.com or any of our branded sites, whether it be GeoComfort or Hydron Module, and click on the commercial tab if that's what your interest is, or the residential tab, and you will find a nice exploded view as well as more features and benefits on what Brian shared with us today. So again, thank you everybody for joining us today. Look forward to speaking with you tomorrow. Thank you and have a wonderful day.